Yo, it's D.Arthur in the building. I'm talking to you guys today about why semen retention is so important to attract abundance, to attract wealth, to attract high quality women. If you want long lasting relationships, if you want deep connection, why is semen retention so pivotal in these interactions? And why does semen retention play a big part in this? Because the thing is, the biggest scam that we were fed to believe, like I said this many times before, is that S3X is everything. If she gives you the coochie, then you've made it as a man. You're accomplished. A man who can control his sexual urges is a dangerous man. That's why some single men, like the greats, like the Most High, Nicholas Tesla, Gandhi, like all of these very like significant beings. That's why they abstained from ejaculate, because they realized that their seminal fluid holds power. Their seminal fluid holds power. Your sexual energy is pretty much the most important type of energy. If you can utilize this properly, then you pretty much have a leg up in the competition. You pretty much have a leg up in any competition. You're gonna be known as someone someone can go to for advice. What's on the other side of having S3X with someone you're not really that passionate about? The only time that you should really be ejaculating or relapsing is to procreate. Other than that, there's no point. If you really wanted to create an abundant life, a high vibrational life. And what does high vibration? High vibration just means that every aspect of your life is abundant and it's good vibes. It has good vibes. And the thing is, people who have, let's say, who are tempted by lust, and maybe the demon of lust, because there's a lot of demons. This is spiritual warfare. Everything that I'm saying is not for the faint of heart. Like, everything I'm saying is really real. Like, there are people who struggle with lust. This is literally like what the thing is. There is a correlation between doing like hard drugs, and being lustful and ejaculating. Like, if you're a man and you're ejaculating like all the time with women that you don't really care about, you're just doing it, then you're gonna have low energy, and you're gonna live low vibrational. Meaning you're gonna get the short end of the stick. You're not gonna have any energy. People might take advantage of you. You won't learn how to negotiate. Negotiation learning how to negotiate is pretty important if you want to live a high vibrational life, because everything is transactions. You want to negotiate. If you're employed, you want to negotiate with your employer to maybe get a raise. If you're a business owner, you want to negotiate with the people you hire so you can get the best from them. If you have a spouse, you want to negotiate so you can get their best attitude from them. And if a man who can't negotiate, who's lenient, who's passive, who is unconfrontational, he will get walked over like the dirt on the floor. If you can't stick up for yourself, you will get walked over. People will take advantage of you. People will throw things at you. They'll make a mockery of you. They'll look at you as someone who's insignificant. They'll take advantage of you. Someone who does not like confrontation will take advantage of you. People will take advantage of you. Society will take advantage of you. It's best to stick up for yourself. No matter how you may look, no matter who you are, it's the best thing for you to do is to stick up for yourself, regardless of stick up for what you believe in. Stick up for your values. Stick up for your beliefs. Stick up for the people you love. Because if no one else is going to do it, if you're not going to do it, no one else is going to do it. And when you go on retention, it's just easier to do these things. because you keep ejaculating, you keep busting. Ejaculation makes you more confident. Once you're more confident, you can stick up for yourself. You have values. You don't care what other people think. When someone crosses the line, you can call it out. You can say it on the spot. You're not passive. And these are very good behaviors to have, because once you can call somebody out, they will never walk across them again. They will never try to take advantage of you again. And like I said, someone who's consistently relapsing, consistently being lazy, consistently laying around, wasting their time watching television, doing all these things, smoking, doing all these things, being lazy, passing time, they're going to let other people who don't do that take advantage of them. Like I said, there's two types of people in the world. There's the consumers and the producers. Now, if you really want to live abundantly, and what does abundance mean? In my opinion, abundance means not depending on anybody else except yourself for the means of life. Being independent financially, physically, and spiritually. Not having any addictions. Your only reliance is on yourself and the Most High. These are your only reliance. You're self-reliant. You're reliant. You ask and you receive. You're not dependent on things. You're not attached to anything. And like I said, I mean, in this physical reality, being financially independent is very important. I mean, it is very important. And so, in order to live like this, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices. You're gonna have to, because you're not gonna have any energy to do any of these things, to actually want to create an abundant life. It's not possible. You're gonna have to have you're always gonna have to have a reason why you want to do things. You always want to have a reason why you want to do things. And if you keep relapsing, then you're not going to have any desire to do any of these things. You want to take the easy way out. You want to take the path of least resistance. You want things to be handed to you. You're looking for a handout when you relapse, because you just don't have any more confidence. You don't have any more belief in yourself when you relapse. So, I mean, in order to create a high vibrational life, it would be in your best interest to retain and put in some work on any single thing that you want to do. Just put in the work. Just put in work on your body, put in work in your business, put in work on yourself, put in work on your social skills, put in work in your high income skills, and let the rest figure itself out. Because if you put in, chances don't matter when effort is involved. If you put in a lethal amount of action, eventually you're going to get the results that you really want. But if you're lazy, you keep relapsing, you have no energy, you're unenthusiastic about life, then things won't really happen for you. So, I mean, like I said, it's best to feel good all of the time. This is the key. Anybody who has, meaning anybody who is grateful, whatever they have, more will be given to them. Anybody who keeps complaining about the things that they don't have, everything else will be taken from them. So, I mean, it'll be in your best interest to live a grateful life, so more things can be added to you. And you're going to feel more abundant, you're going to feel more grateful, you're going to feel like you have the means to life if you retain. Because think about it, like the people who put pleasure over sacrifice, they're probably the ones who are not satisfied with their income. This is just how it means, because if you really wanted to be the person who has a high income and has the means to life, you would have to realize that you have to put in sacrifice. You would have to put in sacrifice. But the people who are not really happy with their income, or maybe have one source of income, they put pleasure over sacrifice. And what is pleasure? Pleasure's after work, instead of working on a side hustle, you want to drink, or on Sundays you want to waste time and watch football. Now, there's nothing wrong with watching football. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you let it consume your life, then there is a bigger problem. If that's the only thing that you can really look forward to, is other million. Think about it. Think about what it is. It's other people who have made millions, physical athletes who have made millions. Now they're working in their craft and they're spectators, And like I said, I mean, I'm the first one to say this, anybody can become a millionaire. It's just that who's willing to put the sacrifice in to become that type of person who really wants to have that abundant life. Because pleasure pleasure is the prerequisite to mediocrity. If you keep living, let's say if you keep living for the weekend, living for spectacles to watch, you're never really going to create an abundant life, an all-rounded abundant life, because you're too distracted by pleasure. Pleasure leads to poverty. Being always living in pleasure is pretty much how you never really ascend to greater heights. You're always living, like I said, you're always living for the weekend. You're always living for the next check. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You're living for a moment. You're living to feel good for 5 to 30 minutes. You're never living for a full, satisfactory life, a well-rounded life. It's pleasure. The more you can delay your gratification, put in the necessary work that you need to do right now in order to enjoy life maybe a little bit later, is what's really needed. And all of that takes is discipline. And discipline and semen retention are co-inherit. If you can go on retention, you can practice the art of discipline, the art of delayed gratification, the art of gratitude, you will have the means to life. You will become abundant. The mediocre problems that many people like to have, they won't be relevant to you. Like yesterday, like I had an instance where, because I've been retaining, and this is a personal story, because I have been retaining, I have attracted woman attraction, and this is on Tinder. Now, as far as I am concerned, we did meet up, but we didn't do anything. Now, because what I realized is, like I said, unless you want to procreate, unless you're really crazy about the person that you're with, I mean, it would be in your best interest not to ejaculate. Because if you actually were an abundant man, an entrepreneur, a business type man, someone who is living for a significant life, you realize that instant gratification is not worth it. 3, 4 to 5 minutes of pleasure is not worth it if you don't really, if you're not really that interested in the person that you're with. And it's like I said, like that person's lifestyle is not abundant. It actually might be low vibrational, because that person seems to put pleasure over long-term gratification, long-term satisfaction. The people who like to bust instantaneously, live for the weekend, like I said, put pleasure, live for Friday and Saturday nights, and have pleasure every time they get off work. They're seeking the next pleasure. They're just seeking pleasure 24/7. They are not going to live abundantly. They're going to live mediocre. They're actually going to live below average. This is a big problem. Like, once you get off work, the real work begins. You have to create your life. And like I said, if you keep putting the lust on a pedestal, if your life is surrounded by lust, you will never ascend to greater heights. You will never transcend. You will never live high vibrational, because the Most High rewards the man who puts in work. And all labor there is profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. He rewards a righteous life. He rewards not going into temptation. He rewards this. He will reward you if he sees you putting in effort. But the man who's always seeking pleasure, like I said, seeking the next thing to feel an instantaneous sprout of high or something like that, he will never really live truly abundantly or high vibrational. He'll always talk about his shortcomings, and he will be mediocre for the rest of his life. But if you're watching this video, it probably isn't you. So the message of the video is, and what I'm really trying to say is, don't starve your distractions and live high vibrationally. The pleasure part needs to just leave, and you have to really delay your gratification to getting something better that you want in the long run. Because the people who are, let's say, lustful, they will live impoverished to mediocre. The people who practice delayed gratification and wait for the right moment, the right person, they will live more abundantly in the long run, because they actually are focused on other things that can create an abundant life and a high vibrational life, if that makes sense. So I mean, yeah, you can like the video, you can comment and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.